Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cup Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world, and welcome back to yet another post-match reaction. It's not a happy one, of course, but yes, we are going to be talking about Liverpool nil, Chelsea nil, and a very disappointing performance. I think yet again it was a step up from the Brighton performance last time out in the Premier League, but of course it wasn't the best. And look, it was two teams definitely struggling at the moment. Of course, one is spending a massive amount of money, the other just can't perform for some reason or another anyway. But let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know how all of you are in the comment section down below. Of course, we're going to be talking about today's game in particular. If anyone does want to come on and have your say, then please let me know, and I can send you the link in the comments, or send you the link via whatever. But again, we're mainly going to be talking. Of course, we're going to talk about this man, Stefan Basetic, as well. Of course, I thought he had a very, very good game, considering the circumstances as well. And we're also going to talk about, for me, in my opinion, I think we do have to finally talk about Mohamed Salah and his disappointing form. Because today there was something massively off with Mo Salah, and yes, don't get me wrong, Liverpool are off completely, but Mo Salah in particular, I felt today did not put a shift in terms of in terms of pressure, in terms of just going for the ball, and just in general, Mo has been disappointing the last couple of weeks. And look, we go after the midfield, we go after defenders and so on. But I think we have to have a go at even the top people, like Mohamed Salah, for example, when they're not pulling their weight around the club as well, or on the pitch at least anyway. But we're going to mainly talk about that tonight as well, and anything you guys want to mention as well in the comment section down below as well. But Brian's in as well, saying hi, Connor, as well. Hello, Brian. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, my friend. Again, it's frustrating, isn't it, chat? I think pretty much. I think all of us want, like, look. I think today it was ups and downs. There was positives. There were positives, and look, I'm not going to be very negative in that way. But again, there were some worrying signs yet again. Look, out of the two teams, Chelsea looked the better team today yet again. And yeah, I know Jurgen turned around and said that look, that today was a step uh, in what potentially could be the next way forward for Liverpool. But I was saying off camera to a couple of people, for me, Europe, I would much prefer Liverpool not to get any form of European football. We don't deserve it to begin with. Um, and Liverpool at the moment, honestly, it's just so depressing um, at the minute, and and we don't deserve it. That's the thing. We don't deserve anything from any game at the moment. Wolves was a fantastic, start or stepping stone in that regard, but again, for me, yeah, it's just a bit disheartening. I would say anyway, but. Gary says, I tell you all, being Liverpool need money, bench Salah, put Elliot on the right as well. We'll talk about Salah and Elliot as well. Thought Elliot was a bit out of his comfort zone on the left-hand side today as well. But Dougson says Salah has been very disappointing since the World Cup. He has looked like he doesn't want to challenge for the ball anymore. Yeah, look, absolutely agree with you there, Doug as well. Johnson as well saying big up as well, big up Connor, mate. I hope you're well, doing fantastic. Thank you, John. You cheating bastard. Hopefully you're doing having a fantastic day as well, apart from the football. Being average for 6 months. Yeah, true, 100%. We have been, and it's not changing. Yeah, and look, guys, we can, even if we was to magically sign a couple of players this season, not going to work. Liverpool are broke. And I mean, like, not broke in terms of money, with that anyway, but I mean in terms of just the core of the team. It's done. Because actually, I'll get onto it in a little bit, but there's a few different scenarios tonight where I feel like, and especially today, it just opened your eyes a little bit at Liverpool's problems, I would say anyway. Talio, again, John as well. Doug saying also the chanting from Chelsea was a disgrace too. Yeah, it was 1,000%. And the shenanigans that happened after the game as well. That was despicable. I hope Chelsea actually do something about it instead of just sweeping it under the carpet like they normally do as well. But small minority had it's like boys and Jones could be, but you can clearly hear. Yeah, no, exactly. It was key. Like it was vocal then. From the Chelsea supporters. And again, you hope something gets done, and you hope there's bans in place. You hope that there's something that that happens and so on as well. And look again, hopefully the clubs do right. Again, whether or not Chelsea will do that is another factor into it, because I don't even think Chelsea have made a statement about it throughout the game. I don't think they've done anything. So once again, shocking. It's just getting tiring now. Feel for all the Hillsborough sports as well. Yeah, exactly, 100%. And again, it's the fact that all the hard work that the families have done throughout the years. I don't have to mention it to begin with. I think we all know, the important stories. But I think people need to be re-educated on a lot of things around the situation. And again, it comes from different people as well. But again, it's just shocking and despicable. Evening, Doug, as well as Brian. Liverpool really needed a jump start. Definitely needed that all season, haven't we? To be fair. Gary as well, 100%. Liverpool should ban the Chelsea fans from the ground. I think Chelsea supporters should ban them from all games. I think in particular. But again, it's that factor of will they actually do anything about it? That's the big thing from it, is whether or not will they actually do some action. I don't think they've. If they haven't tweeted anything about it or made a statement about it, then I apologize for saying that they haven't. But as far as I've seen, there's been no official statement taking any acknowledgement of what happened at Anfield today. Anyway, but what happened afterwards? Fighting, vandalism, just Chelsea, proper words, Chelsea wankers. There we go. Again, it's not all Chelsea supporters, and I'm not saying it is, but minority yet again make headlines. And again, they made headlines. You can check it out on Twitter. You can check it out on other social media platforms as well. Again, I think there was fighting in Liverpool. Yeah, again they just vandalism as well. I think like all around Anfield. Again, just it's so stupid, man. You'd think that, first of all, you'd think that there would be a way to keep them away from, or keep them in check and so on. But again, just ridiculous. Big up Connor as well. Says Pano, good seeing you as well, my friend. Chelsea will do FA. No, exactly. Big up Panav as well, and big up John as well. Says Panav as well. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts. If anyone does want to join, then let me know in the comment section down below. But for me, the big takeaway from this game was, I said the biggest takeaway. The biggest takeaway from me, in my personal opinion, was Stefan Bajcetic. Once again, for me, I know he's only played 2 games in that DM position, but he's been brilliant in both of those occasions. And look, don't get me wrong. Am I going to turn around and say, look, it was week in, Bajcetic should start week in, week out? No, I don't think he should. Again, he's an 18-year-old kid that at the moment has been pretty much, put into it. And look, like Jurgen said yesterday, he said that, he's wanted to play Bajcetic for some time, but of course he's been injured and hasn't been able to play him. And of course, for me, the Wolves game, he was my man of the match in that game. And even in this game, he was up there for sure. And I want to know your guys' thoughts as well. But Besetic could potentially save Liverpool millions if his progression keeps going forward and keeps going up and up and up. Again, 18-year-old kid that's playing DM alongside Thiago Alcantara. Of course, if you guys didn't know, of course, Thiago's father and Stefan Besetic's father both played, I believe, for, is it Celta Vigo, chat, that they both played for, I believe. I think it was a team like that in Spain, as well. So it's kind of nice in that regard. But again, for me, I think Besetic was outstanding today. And I don't mean like, 10 out of 10 performance, was absolutely amazing. But, don't get me wrong, it's an 8 out of 10 performance, for talking about it. And again, it just builds up confidence. And like I said, Liverpool could potentially save millions with him. We're talking about a midfield revamp, but if Besetic can save Liverpool a potential, 50, 60, 70 million on a DM, that's brilliant when we think about it. And it's that fact, and I want to know your guys' thoughts. If you could pick one right now to pick week in, week out, who would you pick? Would you pick Fabinho or would you pick Besetic? For me at the moment, I'd pick Besetic because Fabinho has been awful. And it might wake Fabinho up in some sense as well, chat. It might be the case where Fabinho looks at it and go, Christ, an 18-year-old kid player has, he's got my spot, and at the moment, I'm not getting in the team. And again, I've named the title, Toothless. As Gary's mentioned in the chat, Toothless. In my honest opinion, I think today's performance, it was a bit toothless. It wasn't. You look at that first half. Chelsea should have been 2 or 3 up in that first half. Second half was a bit different. Don't get me wrong, Liverpool, came back and performed decently. It wasn't amazing though. If you go to anyone, who was the better out of the two teams, they watched the full 90. I think a good 80% of people would say Chelsea. Liverpool were terrible today. But there was a few people that made things, like, again, Besetic, Thiago, them two in particular. Ibu as well, defensively was brilliant. To stop Chelsea, and when Mudryk come on as well, definitely helped. Milner and Trent on that side, when of course they got taken off as well. So, and Ali as well, making very crucial saves once again. So again, there's certain people that have had good performances, but an overall team performance wasn't there. Again, in my opinion, anyway. But again, guys, let me know your guys' thoughts. But for me, at the moment, I would say Besetic deserves to start against Brighton in the FA Cup next Sunday, I think it is. Again, we'll have a quick look anyway at the table and so on in a brief moment. Anyway, but again, I want to know your guys' thoughts, because for me, I think he does start ahead of Fabinho at the moment, until Fabinho can have some sort of, I don't know, revamp or some sort of reinvention of himself, because again, he's not performing well at all. And for me, it might be a wake-up call for him, a good wake-up call in that sense anyway. But yeah, as Gary said, Toothless gone it. For me, it was, in some sense. Great to see Besetic get a vote of confidence like that as well. Yeah, 100% there, Bri. We all know nothing will be done, and it will just continue. John is right. LFC should make a statement and ban Chelsea away fans for the next LFC game at Anfield. Should ban them in general, though, Panav, as well. It shouldn't just ban them just for the Liverpool game in particular. It should just be straight up, you get a ban. Whether that be a lifetime ban, whether it be a ban and get educated properly about the situation, or just do the right thing. But again, if there is any mods, or whatever, or let me know, guys, because I'm not going to look right now while I'm live. But I don't think Chelsea have made a statement or made any regards to what happened, and that. So again, let me know. But yeah, for me, lifetime ban, or even ban and then educate, because I think that's the important thing. They need to educate people, in my opinion, anyway. But Besetic 100% as well. Yeah, absolutely bloody. By the way, Curtis Jones needs to be sold as well, says Doug. I don't think sold. I think he needs to go on a loan. Because again, I don't think Liverpool know what Curtis Jones' best position is. If I was to say to you, chat, what is Curtis Jones' best position, I don't think any of us would know, because plain as day, we're all saying that he can play centre mid, he's a left winger, he's this, he's that. I don't think any of us know what Curtis Jones's best position is. I think his best position is number 10. Personally, him just behind the striker. But we don't play that. We either play 4-3-3 or we play that weird 4-4-2 at the moment. And again, he's not for me. I don't think Curtis Jones is a left wing, left mid. He's definitely not that, in my opinion, anyway. But again, I don't know. But let me know your thoughts, guys, as well. But yeah, I take Curtis Jones loan. If he keeps his place ahead of Fabinho for a few games, it will benefit everyone as well, says Brian. But yeah, 100%. And like I said, I hope it does. I hope it does really, get Fabinho waking up and going, look, I need to get my place back. Besetic is a new 6 for Liverpool as well. And again, I don't want people putting pressure on him because, again, he's 18 years of age. At the end of the day, you look at it today, we ended up having a midfield of Besetic, Keita, and Thiago Alcantara, which, to be fair, I think did all right. Now, but to be fair, we can mention the whole first half. Nobody can pass a football in the first half. If you go and watch it, I don't know the specific stat, but I swear there were so many missed passes in that first half. I'll see if I can quickly find if there is a stat, something on it. I will quickly have a look if I can find something. But no, it doesn't do first halves or anything like that. But even again, it just wasn't the best. Like looking right now, Liverpool has 79% accurate pass accuracy. That's terrible. That's so bad. No, we're normally in the high 80s. That's shocking. As well. But what else do we have? Brian says, yep, Jones is contributing nothing, hasn't done anything for a long time as well, says Brian. On the bright side, clean sheet. Yeah, on the bright side, clean sheet. Good for Ali. What is it? Have we got 5 clean sheets now this season? Is it 5 or 6? I think it's 5. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that is a bright side of it, to be fair. Gary, just ban Chelsea altogether. Yeah, absolutely. Horrible club. I ain't going to say anything. Jones, best position in the stands, for God's sake, Brian. God's sake. He's a 10. That's what he's always played growing up. There we go. Thank you, Jungle, as well. But yeah, for me, I think he is a number 10. And of course, we don't play that. So again, we're not going to see Curtis Jones in his best position for Liverpool. 0 shots. I don't know what that's for. I think is that with Curtis Jones. Darwin running back to defend was class. Well, I love that. I love Darwin Núñez. Honestly, coming back. Of course, was a little bit shocked that he didn't start, but of course, he only had 2 training sessions this week in particular. But even Trent, Trent's got a muscle problem that's currently, Liverpool are trying to work around, and so on. Obviously, of course, Liverpool haven't got a game now for a week. Of course, the FA Cup game against Brighton. Yeah, Brighton. I don't know why I was thinking of another club then, but yeah, Brighton. We've got a week on Sunday. So it's to be fair, I think that's a good thing for Liverpool, where of course we've got that week, and hopefully we can, obviously gather the best players that we've got at the moment, and hopefully there's a new system. But I've seen a couple of people even today, you're having a go at Gakpo. For me, I don't get how you can have a go at him. Look, he created chances today. He made a few, one-on-ones. Obviously, nothing was created from it or anything like that. But again, it is what, 4th game in a Liverpool shirt. And again, he's been thrown massively in the deep end. Look how many Klopp signings that has come in and straight away worked. There's only been 3 that comes to my mind straight away. Alisson Becker, Virgil van Dijk, Luis Diaz. They're the only 3. And it's rare. It's rare for someone to come into the club and straight away, automatically, is performing amazingly, and to the standard as well. But at the moment, Liverpool are not performing to the standard. Um, and I think people just need to take their time and look as Jungler said. But yeah, like how can you have a go at Gakpo this early? It's madness. Yeah, I absolutely agree, 1,000%. I've seen loads of people on social media having a go at Gakpo, and I'm like, you friggin' idiots! How many if Liverpool were playing amazingly, a Gakpo come on and did nothing, then I think we could have some say, like, what's he doing? Blah blah blah. But he's being thrown into the deep end with a team that isn't performing well, and people are like, "Oh, he's this, he's that, he's crap." Like, for God's sake, what world are we living in at the minute? It's ridiculous. Honestly, it's pathetic. And for me, just people need to freaking wake up. Honestly, like obviously, I've named and entitled this, Toothless performance, and for me, it was in some sense, but that isn't aimed at at a Cody Gakpo. That's more aimed at someone like a Joe Gomez, someone like a Mo Salah, for example. I don't want to target people in particular, but you have to shout people out. And we'll speak about Mo in a minute, a bit longer. But it's the fact that people that we expect to perform and perform well are not performing, are not doing the jobs that they've normally done. And at the moment, Liverpool, we're relying at the moment on everyone to stay fit. Those, players that play today, we're relying on them to be, to stay fit because we have no Virgil van Dijk, no Trent 'cause he was on the bench, no Luis Diaz, no Jota, no Bobby Firmino. The Bobby Firmino injury is a weird one because he should have been back by now, but he's not because again, with a muscle injury, you have to be careful. You have to take your time with these things. Look at Jota, for example. Jota was brought in, and again, it got injured straight away. And that's the thing where you have to take time with these injuries. And if I'm being perfectly honest with you, I think Liverpool are genuinely waiting for people to come back. In terms of they're not rushing anyone back, they're going to take their time with them because they don't want them re-injured. Um, and again, it's again when it comes to Gakpo and that, I think bloody up there's me whacking my microphone, well whacking the lead. But when you think about it, I think people need to shut up when it comes to Gakpo and that he's played 4 or 5 games for Liverpool and he's playing in a terrible Liverpool team at the moment. It's ridiculous at the moment. To be fair, but he's here 5 minutes and people are having a go. Exactly, pathetic. Bry as well. He's been putting straight into the worst Liverpool team in years. Yeah, absolutely. And again, Jurgen's had no time to work with him neither. It's just straight in, see what you can do. Again, he's playing left wing at the start. His first 2 games for Liverpool. The rest of the time he's playing striker. Like look at today, he's playing centre forward. Um, and we had Harvey Elliott on the left, Mo Salah on the right. Again, it will take time. And that's the annoying part about it as well. But and let me go back to Pam's comments. Fans did it with Nunes, and now they've moved on to Gakpo, Fickle as well. Yeah, absolutely as well. But look, for me, obviously, I've said this to you guys. I think Darwin Nunes will be an absolute star. Once Liverpool can sort out their frigging problems, then look, Darwin Nunes scored 20, 25 goals, 30 goals a season. I do not care what people think of Darwin Nunes. Darwin Nunes is a brilliant player. Evening, it was all right, really today. Steady the ship as well. Yeah, it was a bit better than Brighton, wasn't it? El Scouser as well. Kind of, I would use a different word as well. If you join a club and hit the ground running, that's amazing. It's pretty rare. If we back him, we will develop. Yeah, exactly, absolutely. Bobby says from Gout. I didn't know that. I know Brian as well. Every player needs a season to show their best as well. Yeah, absolutely. Well, look at City for example. You look at it took Bernardo. I think it took Bernardo Silva a year, to Leroy Sane a year to really develop into the team and so forth. And if you listen to any Benfica fan when they speak about Darwin Nunes, for example, the first year Darwin Nunes was at Benfica, he was doing the exact same thing as what he was doing at Liverpool. Um, you know, missing chances, rushing things, this, that, and the other, and then something in that second season just completely changed Darwin Nunes, and I think that will be exactly the same as well. and it could help as well. Depending on different signings that does come through the door. Sorry, but again, I think obviously Liverpool at the moment, we are struggling for our lives at the moment, and until we can get a consistent team together, because look, the team is changing week in, week out. The team that started today won't start against Brighton or won't start in the next league game. It won't. Simple as. But again, we're waiting for consistency. That's when Liverpool are at their best, when we're playing the same team week in, week out. And at the moment, we're not doing that. It's different tactics week in, week out to try and fix the problem. So, again, we're trying things, aren't we, guys? Every player needs seems best as well. Gakpo, Nunes, etc. are the future. Hopefully, I'm more concerned about Salah. Yeah, well, we'll get on to Mohamed Salah in a brief moment as well. Gakpo is quality. I absolutely agree with it there, Gary. It would help Gakpo if Salah actually did something to take away the difference as well. Yeah, absolutely, Oscar. So, well, we will talk. Let me get this image up ready. But yeah, we are now going to talk about this man, Mohamed Salah. For me, again, very disappointing today. Again, of course, no goal from Mo. And look, it's not necessarily the goal. It was just general all-round play today for Mohamed Salah. Did not press, didn't look interested, didn't look like he wanted to be there. And look, that's pretty much all of us at the moment. But when you're actually playing football for Liverpool Football Club, and look, Mo's been absolutely fantastic for Liverpool, since he signed for the club. We all know, Mo has been amazing. But it's like I just said, earlier on in the stream, if we criticize the midfield, we criticize certain defenders and so forth. I think we have to criticize Mohamed Salah. He hasn't been performing excellently well, hasn't done it for some time. I think if you actually look at his stats since probably AFCON, going back when then they haven't been that great. And of course, the big one, he's on a huge contract, which does not help. And look, of course, Liverpool aren't playing well at the moment. And again, people will target the contract situation like Rai did. Look, for me, I don't particularly care. But when you are on £350,000 per week, yeah, you have to be performing. And today just did not show up. And he hasn't done it for some time. And of course, and again, it doesn't help when the team's not performing. And I'm not saying it doesn't, but for me, the biggest worry, Mo is always pressed. He's always pressed. Mane, Bobby, Mo, they've always pressed. They've always run. Mo didn't look like he wanted to run today. There's twice that I can remember when he really ran, and that was when I think Gakpo put him through on that 1v1, and he tried to beat Cucurella and just missed out on it. And for me, it's frustrating because Mo, we know, has been so good, and it's just the attitude at the moment. It just seems off. It massively seems off with Mohamed Salah. I don't even know if that's me thinking that, or if any of you guys have also spotted that. But again, it can change in an instant. Look at the beginning of the season, Mo wasn't playing that well. He moved to that striker position. What was it? I think like four. He scored like 5 and 4 or something like that, and he was amazing. Um, and I think we might have to do something like that again. Now we talk about the system change today with Gakpo up front, Harvey Elliott on the left, and Mo on the right. Maybe Liverpool at the moment should try, if Darwin isn't available or if Darwin's not playing, maybe put Mo up top alongside, and put Harvey Elliott on the right and Gakpo on the left. Maybe that might work. But the way things are at the moment, Mohamed Salah is A, not getting involved in games, and B, when we're defending, he doesn't look like he wants to press at all. He doesn't look like he wants to run, and his attitude is not there at the moment. It looks like a completely different Mohamed Salah. But let me know your guys' thoughts, because I don't know if that's just me having a dig at Mo, or whether or not if you guys are feeling the same thing as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I'd like to know him. I'd really like to know him. Quickly scroll back up. as well. Brian says the new contract lads took the edge off Salah as well, says Brian. Salah has been woeful, says Panov. Yeah, I would agree. Salah looks like he's playing in quicksand, Connor. Yeah, he does, to be fair. FSG currently fuming because of that 350 as well. But 12 months, he's been off it as well. I will quickly, let's have a look if I can. Most Salah stats since AFCON. I don't know whether or not it's going to come up. Let me have a look if I can quickly find. Don't know whether or not that's for that includes this season. Yeah, see, I'm just looking now. So the second half of last season for Mo. So before AFCON last year, he played 26 games, got 23 goals and 9 assists last season. In all competitions after AFCON, he played 21 games. 7 goals, 6 assists for Liverpool. Which again, that's not including this season. But again, it just seems Mo is massively off of it. And again, I don't really want to target Mo, and like I said, I don't want to target any player in particular. But for me, it's something with Mo that's just completely off, and I don't know what it is. I don't think, and again, that's a similar story with all the Liverpool players. We don't know because I think like we all went that the World Cup would potentially save Liverpool. It's probably made Liverpool worse. In many regards. So yeah, I don't know in particular, what could be the problem with Mo, but none of the things that used to happen are happening for Mo as well. Just miss Sadio Mane, guys, don't we? As well. Bri, but Panos says if he continues like this at the end of the season, I would put him up for sale. Salah, we don't need someone on 350k per week doing nothing, says Pano as well. I wouldn't sell him. I wouldn't sell him personally. Let me know, Panav, how much would you put it if Liverpool could? How much would you put him on the market for? Like for me, I wouldn't to begin with, but I don't know. That would be interesting. We wouldn't miss him in current. We wouldn't miss him in current form, which is incredible to say. Yeah, that it's mad, isn't it? Kind of as well. You could literally could have a front three of Diaz, Jota, Diaz, Gakpo, and Nunes without Mo or something like that. It's something a bit mad, isn't it? But starting Salah is like starting with 10 men. He needs dropping. Says John as well. I'd like to risk Carvalho, Nunes, and Elliott up front for a game, maybe the FA Cup. We might see that. El Scouser. I don't think Jurgen wants to stay in the FA Cup, personally. I don't think he wants, because I was saying this off camera to a couple of people. It would be the most Liverpool thing ever if the only way we're getting Champions League football this season, Liverpool, is if we win the Champions League. And that's the only way I can see Liverpool getting into the Champions League or any form of Europe at the moment. And it would just be the most Liverpool thing if we beat Real Madrid. I'm not saying we're going to, because the way we're playing, everyone could beat us. And I mean that. But it would be the most Liverpool thing ever in winning the Champions League. Jesus Christ, I just imagine if that was to happen. Like last season, quadruple chasing, could have done it, whatever. Playing utter crap, and then we go and win the Champions League. That would be stupid, absolutely stupid. If it's not targeted, they're just facts. We see by watching every week that Mo has been terrible recently. Yeah, no, exactly. And again, like I said, I don't personally want to have a go at certain players because they've been amazing for us. But I think you do have to call when they're not performing, you do have to call them out. I think that's the easiest way, because we're easy enough, and I've been easy enough calling out the midfield. I've been easy enough calling out Fabinho, Jordan Henderson. Like I said, Joe Gomez for me today wasn't the best. Robbo included in that, and of course we've called them out all season long. But we have to call everyone out fairly, and I think Mohamed Salah has to be questioned, because today it wasn't a day. It wasn't up there today. Dropping for 4 games, says Gary, but yeah, 4 games. I'd only drop him for 1 or 2. He just doesn't carry the same threat anymore, says Brian. Elliot needs to replace Salah now, says Bupanov. I think that would be the logical um, aspect of it. And I think as well, it's like the front three today, it didn't look right. The balance of it didn't look right, because of course you had Harvey on the left, Mo on the right, and Gakpo up front. For me, I would have put Mo up front and put Gakpo on the left, and then Salah on the right. I know I said that on the right hand centre. Salah striker, Elliot right wing, Gakpo left wing. That's what I would have done. But again, I don't know anything. But it would be interesting. It will be very, very interesting to see what Jurgen does, because, of course, Jota is supposed to be back at the end of the month. Because, of course, Jurgen Tirana said that he expects Jota to be fit and available for Real Madrid, which is, I think, the first week of February. If I can remember correctly, it's the first week or second week of February, somewhere around there, anyway. Rest we have quickly got Brian's comment up. Not saying he can't go back to his level, but time isn't on his side. His fitness is still incredible, but the goals are what he's there for. Yeah, I would agree, 1,000%. It's not just Mo. It's 7, 8 players who have been off this season. Absolutely agree, John. It's again, we can go through them. Mo, Virgil. Mo, Virgil. Fabinho, Hendo. Again, you could list the main 11. Robbo, in some sense, and Robbo's, to be fair, been decent apart from the first half of today. I think Robbo has been pretty good. Trent as well could be in that bracket. But then again, I think Trent's been pretty decent since the World Cup return. Obviously, apart from Brighton, because everyone was shite against Brighton. But again, I agree. You could name 8, 9, 10, 11 players on that list, even probably more, on how bad Liverpool's been this season. But Panav says, Connor, after this year, Salah only has 2 years left. We don't want him to walk on a free. Sell him while he has a contract and some value, in my opinion. Maybe, but then again, how much would you sell him for, Panav? And it's that thing again of I think there's only a certain amount of clubs that would go for him in particular. I think if PSG lose, if they lose Messi, maybe PSG. But then again, maybe Mo. Obviously, the rumor with the Qatari owner and so on. I don't know. Would Mo want to go PSG or someone like that? I always thought Mo might end up at Juventus. I've always thought that, because, of course, the Serie A link. But then again, I don't think Juventus can do any dealings like that at the moment. Of course, in their current position of getting that 15-point deduction, which again, very, 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 very dodgy. We're going back to 2005. But anyway, but what's Jota's best position? For me, centre forwards. I think Jota's in the false 9. I think Jota's best position is. Can't play on the left, obviously bombing down the left wing. But yeah, I think centre forward for me. I think Jota's best position. Ali and Nunes have had good seasons. That's about it. I'd even put do you know what? I'd even put Elliot in that bracket of just he hasn't had an amazing season, but he's had the next bracket down. again, we forget that Harvey Elliott is 19 years of age and he's played in every single Liverpool game this season, or at some sort of capacity in the games this season. I think Elliott's been up there as well. Look, he hasn't performed brilliantly week in, week out, but I think people forget before the World Cup, we were speaking about, well, you could even put Luis Diaz in that bracket as well, Bry, with Harley and Nunez, because Luis Diaz was Liverpool's best player by country mile, wasn't he, before he got injured. Um, yeah, I think Bobby as well, you could have a shout for potentially. It's like you've got that upper bracket, which has been amazing, which is, for me, it's only Allison. I think Darwin's done quite decently, but I think down underneath it, I think then you're talking a couple of odd players. Even in that perfect section, you could have Luis Diaz, and I think you probably should have it in there as well. I don't feel as negative as I did pre-Wolves, so it's getting a little bit. No, exactly, and that's the thing. Like, look, like I said, I've named it Toothless Performance. That's on me. Because again, I felt in that first half, Chelsea could have been 2 or 3 up easily, and Liverpool didn't look threatening at all until Darwin Núñez come on, and there was a bit of interchange and so on. But again, it's just the fact that we've seen plenty of times so far this season where Liverpool have just gone completely missing in games, and then we get punished so easily. Today, that didn't happen, fortunately, but it's something Liverpool have to work on. And I generally think Liverpool at the moment, and I was saying this to Jack, this might sound really stupid coming from me, and it might get clipped or whatever. I would genuinely, I don't want Europa League football, personally. I don't, unless it's Champions League football, I don't want it. I'd much rather, maybe sit out a year of European football and just focus on the rebuild of Liverpool. But again, how much will that hurt Liverpool financially? It'll be a massive hit for Liverpool Football Club. And I think then you could maybe even kiss goodbye to a couple of signings that we want. If if anyone has listened to that John Henry interview talking about the Red Sox and the fact he's gone on about ticket prices are affecting them signing them signing the best baseball players. I don't even want to know his excuse in terms of football. And it's that sense of where for me, I'm really worried with this football team because at the moment, well, I say in general, we're not getting Champions League football. And now it's the question of what are Liverpool fighting for this season? Are we fighting for a Conference League spot? Are we fighting for a Europa League spot? I genuinely do not know. And it has me worried. It does very much have me worried because again, we know that Liverpool are looking at a Champions League list, and we're looking at a non-Champions League list. That should not be a problem. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, clubs might not want to come because we don't have Champions League football, whatever. But if Liverpool are not keeping the same targets compared to Champions League, to non-Champions League, I'm worried because Liverpool need a massive rebuild. Not only midfield, throughout the team, Liverpool need a massive rebuild over the next 2 years. And whether or not FSG think that, we can get away with this or get away with that, you're stupid. You're so stupid if you think that. And again, that's not towards anyone, that's towards FSG. If you think Liverpool are okay without getting Champions League football and you're happy that the way things are going, what planet are you living on? Jurgen Klopp needs help, and he needs it now, not in 2 years' time when we're going, Klopp's had enough. He wants to go. He wants to. He's not getting back the way he should do. Is exactly what's happened to Borussia Dortmund. 2.0. I don't want that at Liverpool. I don't mind now this season, but the season's gone. I don't mind this season now being an experimental time or not. But next season, I don't want this feeling. I don't want the feeling of week in, week out, whether or not Liverpool are actually going to perform. Again, I want Liverpool, even if it was just to be a little bit more competitive and that in terms of, fighting for, the league or whatever. because teams are going to be back. Chelsea are going to spend another 300-400 million. United are going to do it. City are definitely going to do it in the summer in terms of midfielders because they need midfielders. I want Liverpool doing that, and I just want Klopp backed. I want Klopp back with all the people he wants, and that might be a little bit of a rant on my end, but again, I don't know what the plan is at the moment with Liverpool. It might just be me thinking that, but let me know your guys' thoughts anyway. But does Jota walk back into the team? Maybe. On that, like, if people are playing, to the high standards we know they can play at, does he get ahead of Nunes? No. Does he get ahead of maybe on that left hand side? Give Gakpo a little bit of a rest if he comes in. He doesn't walk straight back into the team, but he does slowly get back there if he's fully fit and available. Nagai, not if we don't want him back on a medical table again. I wouldn't risk it. Exactly. I agree, Panav, as well. I couldn't give a shit about the Red Sox, to be honest. No, I'm not saying we should, and I'm definitely not. But the problem is, if he's doing the same, excuses as the Red Sox as Liverpool, then it's bad. It's really bad. Again, we can talk about it. We can talk about FSG in a whole different video. But if you go and watch that, I think they have the owners sitting down or talking about it, or I think it's something to do with the Red Sox, and he's speaking about the reason why they're not investing in their club. It's a very similar aspect to Liverpool. I'm just saying it as that, to be fair, John, as well. But as much as I'm upset, Jota, Diaz, Nunes, Gakpo, Firmino, Salah, that's pretty top level options. Well, no, absolutely. That's Europa nailed on after today. I can't see that team putting a run together. FSG strangling us, says North Reds. Absolutely agree with it. Just seeing Ant's comment. Yeah, footy. I'll read it in a minute as well. But I think we finished sixth. I don't even think we do that right now. I think eighth, maybe the best, potentially. I don't even know. I would rather finish eighth, Brian, as well. Guy says I agree with Brian as well. And all the rest says it's not FSG stupidly. It's a con. They are making their money. Recent financial reports are testimony to that they don't give a effing care. No, exactly. And again, once you hear the rumors that it's just a partial sale, and that is just frustrating as well. But Brian says massive investment in the next two windows, 300 million easy, and that's not being greedy, just realistic in today's market. Yeah, 1,000% agree. You're looking 250, 300 million that Liverpool will have to spend in the summer. There's no doubt about that. I think they need to realise that as well. There's no easy way of going around it. You need to spend money when you've got. And Jurgen mentioned it on Friday's press conference. He said you've got teams like Chelsea spending wildly. You've got City will want to invest in the summer. Arsenal will want to invest. They'll want to, if they do go on to win the league, they'll want to try and retain them staying in the league and winning the league. Sorry, and that every team will be wanting to invest and spend 100, 200 million pounds because everyone's doing it. And the fact Liverpool can't do that, and the fact that Liverpool as well can't then go and try and recoup a couple of money. FSG are going to have to realise that Liverpool are going to have to spend 200 to 300 million, and the net spend then will definitely have to be over 250 mil. Not try and recoup after they're back. That'd be stupid, so stupid if that was to happen. But again, it's ridiculous, isn't it? But the sooner FSG leave, the better. I agree. Anthony says footy is proper shite. Yeah, didn't you draw today though, Ant? Didn't you draw 2-2 against Brighton? You did better than us against Brighton. Agreed, something is wrong at this club corner as well. Yeah, I've said that for a while, to be fair. I'm fed up of being linked to everyone and his dog. I just want to see a couple of quality signings so we can all stop speculating as well. Yeah, I can stop making videos there. And again, if we need Stevie G to get Jude Bellingham over the line, freaking do it. Pretty pleased. I'm sick and tired of it now. Liverpool need to take over, says Gary, and says, I wish I went to watch today. Why do I keep doing this to myself every week? Leicester everywhere. To be fair, and like I said though, you did draw. You did. Did you draw? Hang on. Am I saying that to complete and utter? Am I being an idiot? No, you did draw. So you got something. Were you winning and then you drew? Oh, you were 2-1 up. Oh, never mind. I thought, to be fair, I haven't seen any of the games, apart from the Liverpool game and then the Newcastle game. I didn't see any of the other games. I know the results, but didn't go into detail. But yeah, that's very disappointing for you, Ant, as well. But Ant, when's Rogers' contract up? 1,000%. They cannot compete anymore. Simple. So, yeah, true. 2025 says answer. Bloody hell. Another, what, 2 years of Brendan? Long may it continue. I'm joking. Imagine if we didn't have Canate for the future of that defence. Yeah, exactly. I thought he was brilliant today as well. 2-2. Yeah, I know they drew 2-2, but I didn't know the full extent of it as well, to be fair. Just looking now at the Premier League table, to be fair, Ant, you are 14th now, so it could be worse. You could be Everton in that regard as well. To be fair, you are only a point above relegated. Jesus Christ, are we actually? Are we closer to the relegation zone than we are to top four? If that is the case, then Jesus, hang on, I can't do maths in my head. 17. So what's that? 12 points. 10. No, we're fucking hell. This is so. Liverpool is so bad. Yeah, so Bournemouth are on 17. Obviously, we're on 29 now. United are on 39. So yeah, we're just a few points closer to the top four than we are relegation. So every silver lining in that as well. But Jesus Christ, Liverpool are terrible. Really well, that's not good, mate. As well, only good thing to come out of the last week is reports Leicester being broke. It's absolute BS as well. Has that really come out as well? That's brilliant. Brilliant. Not that. Haven't you just signed someone for 30 million euros as well, Ant? Seen Fabrizio Romano tweeting about it, and that anyway. But again, let me know. But yeah, we're going to leave it there anyway, guys, because we've been going for 53 minutes tonight. Anyway, of course, if you haven't missed it, we have been talking mainly about Stefan Persetic as well. For me, was up there with Liverpool's best players as well. And of course, we have been talking about Mohamed Salah as well, and properly critiquing him because I think again he deserves to be shouted out for his recent poor performances as well. Anyway, and of course we've spoken about different little things as well. Anyway, let me quickly read out Elskaus's comment before we do it off. I hope we stay in the FA Cup. At the end of this terror campaign, we might at least have that final to enjoy. Yeah, maybe. Do you know what? Why? Yeah, but then if we win it, we get a Europa League spot. So, do we want that? I don't know, but maybe. I don't know what other people want, but again, it would be nice to be fair. But great, we're gonna win the Champions League, NFL playoffs too, NLL playoffs. Yeah, the Smith Eubank fight is on. Elskaus, let me know, what time is the fight starting? Is it 11? Or is it now? Because if it's on now, I'll definitely watch that ahead of stream as well. Anyway, but guys, have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Anyway, if we're not live tomorrow, which I don't think we will be tomorrow. Anyway, again, apologies. There was no not post match, no match preview yesterday. Again, I was very, very tired yesterday. I was so busy. Yesterday was ridiculous. I was literally sat by I had everything sorted out, and I was literally falling asleep. So again, I may have fallen asleep on stream, maybe. If it happened anyway. But again, guys, hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. As Gauss says, one more left about to start as well. Brilliant. I'll go on watch that right now. Anyway, but guys, hopefully you lot have a fantastic rest of your weekend as well. Of course, if you're going to watch any of the football, of course, Arsenal Man United tomorrow. That's a huge game for the title race as well. I think Arsenal will win it. And then, of course, maybe if Wolves do a job on Man City, Arsenal might be a bit more clear of Man City as well. Anyway, but again, guys, hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Anyway, if there is any news tomorrow about anything or anything important, again, we'll be live to cover it anyway. But again, hopefully we'll see you all Monday at 9 o'clock, or if anything does break, like I said, we'll be live for it anyway. But guys, thank you very much for watching. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I'll see you all then.